We are only a couple months away until everyone's favorite duo returns to the small screen. And no, we're not talking about Jabba the Hutt and Salacious B. Crumb. We are talking about the Mandalorian, with a heart bigger than the Death Star, Din Djarin, and the child who took over the world with one breath, the character many fondly refer to as Baby Yoda. And yes, technically his name is The Child, but that is way too serious a name for someone who does this. And with Season 2 right around the corner, it is time for everyone's favorite game, the speculation game. Will the child get his own set of Beskar armor? Will Mando get Baby Yoda his own little jetpack? And most importantly, what guest characters will appear in Season 2, and what will their roles be? For the answer to the latter, and the possibility of answering the first two questions, be sure to like, subscribe, and give that galactic bell a ring, so every video will be delivered to you faster than Han Solo flying the Kessel Run. Yahoo! Now let's bypass the compressor and dive into this video. Boba Fett and Cobb Vanth. The Mandalorian, in its heart, is a Western. And yes, while this is an obvious statement, we are telling you that because nothing would be more Western than the side plot that these two characters could go through. According to Hollywood Reporter's sources, Temuera Morrison has been cast as Boba Fett to bring the famed bounty hunter back to life. The casting, of course, makes perfect sense given how Boba is a modified clone of his father, and if the casting is true, it will be interesting to hear how Boba Fett survived after, yeah, you know the story. However, the more interesting and fitting story for the show would be Boba Fett's conflict with Cobb Vanth. And here's a quick summary for those who do not know. Cobb Vanth is a character who appears in the Star Wars Aftermath novels. Vanth is the sheriff of Freetown on Tatooine, and more importantly, protects Freetown wearing the remnants of Boba Fett's armor. Timothy Olyphant has been heavily rumored to have been cast in Season 2, with Slash Film reporting in May that Olyphant will be playing Vanth according to their sources. You may remember at the end of Chapter 5 of Mandalorian Season 1, we saw a mysterious figure approach the apprehended Fennec Shand. The figure to many fans seemed to resemble Boba Fett, or at least his armor. There has been plenty of speculation that this character was a tease for Vanth. If true, this would give great significance to an episode that was seen as filler by many. More importantly, including Vanth would introduce a character that many fans are aware of, as well as having the potential to have the coolest fight in The Mandalorian. Could you imagine Boba Fett versus Cobb Vanth? Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka is also rumored to be featured in Season 2. The fan favorite from Clone Wars and Rebels has basically been confirmed by everyone but the Mouse House. According to an exclusive report from Slash Film back in March, Rosario Dawson has supposedly been cast to bring Tano to live action. In an interview with Variety, Dawson stated, quote, "That's not confirmed yet, but when that happens, I will be very happy. I'm very excited for that to be confirmed at some point," end quote. The wording of the quote, while not deliberately stating that she is in the show, practically says that she is waiting for approval from Disney before confirming she is in the series. The inclusion of Ahsoka opens up a ton of possibilities for what Season 2 of The Mandalorian can bring. Based on what we see in Clone Wars, she knows the history of Mandalore and the importance of the dark saber, possibly putting her in a vital position to aid the Mandalorian in taking down Moff Gideon to reclaim the saber for the fragmented Mandalorians. Secondly, her growth and maturity in the Force displayed in Rebels could make her a valuable asset in finding the home for the child and helping Din understand the workings of the Force. The value she could bring to Din's team, as well as the added joy from the audience, make her inclusion imperative to differentiate Season 2 from Season 1. Sabine Wren. Speaking of Rebels, another highly rumored character is Sabine Wren, the highly talented and equally awesome Mandalorian of Phoenix Squadron. Sabine has yet to be cast or confirmed to be appearing in The Mandalorian. However, the introduction of the Darksaber makes this rumor way too good to pass up. When we last saw Sabine, she had grown into a strong warrior, leader, and solidified her bonds with Clan Wren. In the Rebels series finale, she left Lothal and Ahsoka to go search for Ezra after the Battle of Endor. Seeing Ahsoka and Sabine's dynamic would be very fulfilling for fans and parallel nicely to the Mandalorians and Cara Dune's early partnership. Could the search for Ezra collide with the Mandalorian's journey to find the child's home? Only time will tell. And the search for Ezra will be put on pause once Ahsoka, and more importantly Sabine, discover that the Darksaber has fallen into the hands of what is left of the Empire. Because of her relationship with Ahsoka, it is highly plausible that their involvement in the show may be minimal. Like Ahsoka's involvement in Rebels Season 2, we believe that Ahsoka and Sabine will be introduced early on in the season and then fade away, before returning for the final battle of the series. As long as we get dope new armor for Sabine and Ahsoka's white lightsabers, we'll be happy. Bo-Katan. As mentioned earlier, Bo-Katan, sister to Duchess Satine, was the last known wielder of the Darksaber, as shown at the beginning of Rebels Season 4. We have yet to see the full scale of the Great Purge of Mandalore that is referenced several times in Season 1, which led to the remaining Mandalorians having to hide away in secrecy. This lands Bo-Katan in one of two places. Either she dies in the Purge and that is how Moff Gideon acquired the Darksaber, or Bo-Katan survived and is now shattered by her failure to protect her people. We find the latter more compelling and fitting for the world that the Mandalorian finds itself in, but both options get the job done and offer a compelling reason to fight back for the Darksaber with Din. We just could not see Bo-Katan being brought over to live action and then completely killed off. Slash Film reported back in early May that the voice of Bo-Katan, Katie Sackhoff, was cast to bring the character to life for the show and filmed her scenes in February. Like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, however, it is yet to be officially confirmed. But her character, out of everyone on this list, has the most potential to propel the plot of Season 2, as she has seen Mandalore thrive, suffer, and regrow, while also serving to show fans what happened to her after the events of Rebels. Whether we get all of these characters or just one of them, it cannot be understated that this is very exciting for the future of The Mandalorian. Season 1, besides some teases, flashbacks, and the last shot, seemed very narrow and isolated within the Star Wars timeline. With the inclusion of fan favorites and characters from deep in the canon, the scope of The Mandalorian should broaden widely. That is not to say that the through line and story of the show will be sidelined to service these characters and the fans. Quite the opposite, actually. With these inclusions, it will be established that the Mandalorian and the child's actions have impacted a larger area of the galaxy and have raised the stakes, something Season 2 needs to distinguish itself from Season 1 while adding to the great foundation laid by the inaugural season. We cannot wait to see what happens in Season 2. Who do you think we will see in Season 2? What do you want their roles to be? Which characters will Baby Yoda like the most? And which characters will Baby Yoda want to force choke? Feel free to discuss kindly in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate a like. And be sure to subscribe if you would like more content about The Mandalorian and upcoming Star Wars series and movies. Until next time, be safe and may the Force be with you, always.